exactly 3:17 a.m., the house exploded. Boom! The microwave started playing country music. The ceiling fan fell off. Alexa screamed, "Good luck, everyone!" And in the middle of the smoke, Dad stood proudly holding a screwdriver. "I think the Wi-Fi is fixed." Mom slowly walked into the hallway, holding a burning toaster. "Why?" she whispered. "Is the fridge connected to the television?" Dad crossed his arms confidently. "It's called optimization." And then the upstairs bathroom exploded with soap foam. 3 hours earlier, the internet stopped working. For most families, this would be annoying. For our family, it was a national emergency. My little brother Tyler screamed, "My game was in ranked mode." My sister Emma cried, "I was on a video call." Grandpa thought the government had shut down the internet forever. And Dad smiled, a dangerous smile. "Relax," he said proudly. "I know technology." Mom immediately whispered, "Oh no." Because the last time Dad fixed something, the washing machine flooded the kitchen. But Dad was already marching toward the Wi-Fi router like an action hero. First, he unplugged every cable in the house. The TV died. The aquarium turned off. The refrigerator beeped angrily. "Dad," I asked, "why did you unplug the microwave?" "Everything is connected," he replied seriously. It absolutely was not. Then Dad disappeared into the garage and returned wearing safety goggles. To fix Wi-Fi. Mom looked terrified. "Frank, please tell me you watched a tutorial." Dad laughed. "I don't need tutorials." Those words should honestly scare every family. Then he opened a random video online called, "Boost your internet speed 1,000 times." The thumbnail had lightning shooting out of a router. Dad trusted it immediately. Step 1. Wrap aluminum foil around the router. Dad used almost the entire kitchen roll. The router looked like a giant baked potato. Shockingly, the internet became even worse. Tyler screamed, "Now I have 1 bar." Dad narrowed his eyes. The signal is resisting. The signal was not resisting. But Dad had already entered full scientist mode. Next, the video said, "Use copper wires to amplify frequency." Mom shouted, "Absolutely not." Dad replied, "Trust the process." That sentence never ends well. Soon, random wires were connected between the router, the TV, and somehow, the coffee machine. Nobody understood why the coffee machine was involved. Then strange things started happening. The garage door opened by itself. The blender turned on. Grandma's electric blanket started vibrating like it was haunted. Grandpa slowly stood up. The machines are waking up. Suddenly, the lights flickered. Dad gasped happily. It's working. It definitely was not working. Sparks flew from the router. The TV switched to a Spanish soap opera. The refrigerator made a terrifying noise. Then Alexa suddenly announced, "Warning, this is a terrible idea." Even the smart speaker knew Dad had gone too far, but Dad ignored it. He grabbed 2 screwdrivers and crouched beside the router like he was defusing a bomb. Sweat rolled down his forehead. Tyler whispered, "Should we call an electrician?" Mom whispered back, "Or the fire department." Then suddenly Dad shouted, "I found the problem." Everyone froze. Dad held up a tiny loose cable dramatically. This wire was disconnected. Silence. That was the problem? Dad plugged it back in. Immediately, the Wi-Fi returned. Full bars. Perfect connection. Everyone screamed with happiness. "It's back!" Tyler hugged the couch. Emma continued her call. Mom almost cried with relief. Dad stood proudly like he had saved humanity. But then, smoke drifted from upstairs. Mom looked terrified. "Frank." Dad smiled confidently. "See? Easy fix." And then, boom. The upstairs bathroom exploded with pink soap foam. Apparently, Dad had connected the router to the automatic soap dispenser. Foam blasted through the vents like a volcano. The dog disappeared into bubbles. Tyler slipped across the kitchen floor. Grandpa grabbed a broom and yelled, "This house is under attack!" And in the middle of absolute chaos, Dad slowly checked the Wi-Fi on his phone. 5 perfect bars. He smiled proudly. Well, at least the internet works now.